So surprisingly, because I went out Sunday night, I have no impressions about SummerSlam and Raw really, but Pat does.
I do.
We are in Bizarro land right
because
now.
I did swear off WWE after WrestleMania, and not just for that reason. It's just, I hate to say it, seeing all like Daniel Bryan have a career-threatening injury. What's his name? The Canadian wrestler that we love,
Tyson Kidd.
Tyson Kidd. Who knows if he's going to wrestle again? Seeing all these guys die, Roddy Piper, at fairly young age.
You're watching a brutal business.
You're watching zoo animals for your entertainment. You have to accept that, and I'm getting less and less.
It's kind of why I can't watch football. I can't watch football for the same reason.
Yeah, it is. Except at least those guys get paid millions and millions of dollars.
Sure, wrestlers don't.
You know what I mean? At least with that, you can play football for like 5-6 years and don't have to worry about the rest of your life. And obviously now at least that there's lawsuits and there's a union with football, so you're at least somewhat protected. Wrestling, you're not.
Especially not in the WWE. You're all independent.
You're an independent contractor, even though you can't work for anyone else while you're wrestling with us, which is illegal. But whatever. So I'm just it's just more and more uncomfortable. I know it's entertaining, but I'm less and less comfortable watching people literally kill themselves, die young for your entertainment. And I know that it's safer now. There's less pile drivers. There's less high angle, suplex and things like that. But it's still bad shit happens.
I was gonna say something about that too. It's like I remember when everyone bitched about WWE and even some of the indies, being like, "Hey guys, we gotta back off of this shit," like pile drivers especially and stuff. And it's like everyone bitched, and it's like then you see all this shit happen, and all these people grow old with brain damage and shit. And it's like, aren't you kind of happy that they're still putting on good matches but living longer, healthier lives?
And they're not. They're not making shit.
Yeah.
Most of the jobbers in WWE, they're not even making six figures.
No.
And they got to pay their own like hotel rooms and
health
food.
insurance and oftentimes travel.
So that's why I'm down on wrestling now more than ever. But that aside, I checked out the results of SummerSlam. You know why? Because I like Brock Lesnar as a performer. We disagree on that. But it was the rematch.
He's grown
against
on me
Undertaker.
a little.
He's like a little teddy bear. And Paul Heyman's the best on the mic, potentially ever, for promoting matches now.
Paul Heyman's amazing.
He's amazing. And every week you think he never has a bad promo, ever.
I want to see Heyman and Balor. Anyways, continue.
So that was a cool match. And then they're doing a unification match, in theory, we're not sure, between John Cena, U.S. champ, which I disagree with him fighting against Seth Rollins, but they set that up too. So those two matches interested me. I read the results then for all the matches. And there was also like Cesaro versus Kevin Owens, which sounded cool. I read the results then. Jon Stewart was hosting the event because he had appeared, did a Seth Rollins thing a couple months ago. I think he appeared
on a Daily
somewhat
Show. Ongoing,
yeah. He appeared on Raw. Seth Rollins appeared on Daily Show after WrestleMania. So it was cool. Then I read the results, and I was transported back to reading the dirt sheets in 1999 on iWrestling.com, and it was like
my God, iWrestling.
It was like reading the results of a WCW pay-per-view, and I'm not even exaggerating. For having the end of the Lesnar Taker match be inconsequential and having a false finish, so Lesnar taps out Undertaker to the Kimura, and of course Little Nate can't see it. He's in the ring on the opposite side, but then for some reason the timekeeper rings the bell.
Yep.
To stop the action,
and the
ringkeeper supposedly saw it.
Yeah, he's got a clear line of sight. From what I saw,
even though he's not supposed to ring the bell until the referee says ring the bell. That's what a timekeeper does. He literally keeps the time. So even in the wrestling comment, see, stuff has to make sense. Even in wrestling, the story has to make sense. When you start doing this shit, your brain turns off and you can't suspend your disbelief anymore. So that was dumb.
It's like when Kevin Owens won a title by choking out Sami Zayn. It's like, and they made up new rules the next week, and that was
how you can choke someone out.
Yeah, and he passed out. It's like, no, that's not a victory. He never tapped. No. Anyways, continue.
Oh, but rear naked chokes are illegal anyway.
Yes,
sleeper holds were, but real naked weren't. Anyway, so then they restart the match, but then Undertaker kicks Brock in the nuts or whatever, low blows him and then beats him. He puts him in the Hell's Gate, which is a triangle choke basically, or a modified triangle choke. And then it's cool ending. Lesnar doesn't tap; he gives middle finger and he passes out, and then he wins. So that was an awful finish, because it'll set up a third match, and unless Brock goes over cleanly, this doesn't fucking matter.
Mean anything.
No one wants to see Undertaker win. I don't need to see Undertaker win a match against someone like Brock Lesnar, who can actually not only put on good matches, still put over other people and be a top drawer, which he is. Undertaker's not a top draw. He wrestles once or twice a year anymore. He can get hurt. He got hurt last year against Lesnar, got a concussion.
By all accounts, he got hurt at SummerSlam too. I mean, they were saying he collapsed backstage, broken ribs.
Maybe that's true. He definitely got that concussion last year. He was out of shape. He got in better shape this year. But the whole point is that Undertaker's 50 years old. It's wear and tear. It's not just he was wrestling since his like early 20s. You know, he's done.
Yeah.
He's done. Unless he puts on a safe match against someone that can protect him, he's done. I don't have any interest in it, and it's not believable anymore. They even said that on Heyman's, like, he's not the boogeyman. You know, he's not Santa Claus. Lesnar beat him. And he did. He beat him cleanly. So the fans now, any smart fan will be like, yeah, Lesnar is a monster. He beat him cleanly. He beat him twice in a row. Why am I rooting for Undertaker? Undertaker cheated to beat him. Why is there any honor to that? They're trying to do the analogy. He's an old gunslinger with 2 bullets left in the gun just to try to get one off. It's like, I don't care. That's not appealing to me.
The cheat win didn't bother me. The match in general bothered me. The low blow didn't bother me simply because the build-up to the match was so heated and so personal that...
The build-up was ridiculous.
But yeah, it was. But I mean, they tried to frame it as heated and personal. That a low blow... I mean, honestly, that's the least of my concerns with the fucking match.
So, it is what it is. It's just bad booking. But the worst booking was the main event. So then Jon Stewart comes down, and then, of course, you can't have your young guy... you know, get a win over a guy who's been with the company for over 10 years and is heavily protected elsewhere. So Jon Stewart comes out, you know, does a chair to the gut of John Cena. And then Rollins does the pedigree because they don't allow him to do the curb stomp anymore. They say he's dangerous. I'm not going to argue that. So they explain it on Raw. Stewart is like, the reason I interfered is I didn't want Cena to tie the 16 championships that Ric Flair has. Ric Flair comes out and he goes, John, I appreciate it, but if anyone wants to, if I want anyone to beat that record, I want it to be John Cena. And then, of course, half the crowd's booing, half's cheering, and Ric Flair's like, that's the truth. You don't have to like it, but you gotta love it, you know. And then Cena comes out and it's like, no, I understand why you did it. He said, I'm not mad. Terrible promo, back and forth. Stewart was interrupting him.
Wait, Cena gave a terrible promo?
It wasn't good.
Amazing.
Because it contradicted itself logically, and then Stewart was interrupting here and there, which they don't like doing, even semi-realistic conversations during promos. They like to be cleaner. So I think even Cena was actually probably even a little bit in real life sort of, not pissed, but like, okay, shut up, let me talk.
Right.
So then he ends up giving an attitude adjustment to Jon Stewart. After saying he's not pissed at him or mad, understands, and it's like, I don't see how any of that makes Cena look good. First of all, it's just stupid because that's totally a bullshit ending to a pay-per-view. It is.
Yeah.
I expected better of WWE. I hate to say it. They did it for the cheap sort of, what's Entertainment Tonight going to be talking about tomorrow? And hell, SportsCenter they did cover the ending. ESPN covered the event. They sent the coach out there, which I love the coach, and he's been now, I think for like 5-6 years, he's been on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
And he went to the event, interviewed people all day, so they have some sort of weird relationship with WWE right now. I don't know what's going on, but they do now. To show the ending of the match and have the coach there all day. Hell, the same SportsCenter, they were talking about results of a video game, like a MOBA thing going on. I think I was like, well, we're in a weird dimension now. That's a whole other conversation. Why I think that's a bad idea to try to crossbreed different audiences that don't watch things on certain mediums. Like gamers don't really watch TV anymore, so they're not going to be watching ESPN for results. And you're not going to get new audiences of sports fans to watch this shit by watching SportsCenter and seeing coverage of video games.
We discussed this when we talked about
doesn't make any sense.
StarCraft or something.
So the whole thing with WWE doesn't make that much sense either to cover it on SportsCenter.
No.
But the pay-per-view booking was horrific. That's all I'm going to say. The wrestling sounded decent. The booking was horrific.
That's why you watch NXT, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, and the whole Divas revolution they're trying to do is already a fucking mess.
Shouldn't be.
Because from what I hear, they want to, because Nikki Bella still has the title, and they want to have her keep it for 3 more weeks so she can break.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Exactly.
She still has the title?
Oh, yeah. And they want to keep it on her at least because they want her to make sure that she breaks AJ Lee's record, because it's not enough already giving it to Punk. We got to do it through his wife as well, and through AJ Lee, who was mostly, awesome for the company, and probably the best diva she's had, probably the best diva the roster's had since Trish Stratus. And so we're going to just say fuck you.
Don't discount the ones that are up there now.
No, but I mean for longevity,
sure.
I've done as much for the company.
I taste a little bile.
So there you are, and I'm not watching again now until Survivor Series at least. Oh, but this is cool. I actually like this. At the end of Raw, they had a statue. They were teasing having like a bronze statue.
Oh
made,
yeah.
And it was Sting inside.
Mm-hmm.
So Sting is, I guess, going to fight Rollins. I don't mind that. I don't mind Sting putting over Rollins. People want to see Sting fight. He can probably put on a good match still. Probably better than versus Triple H, giving it 7 minutes before the most overbooked match I've ever seen in history, with weapons and
NWO versus DX.
Factions fight each other, which makes no fucking sense. I'm not talking about wrestling again. Moving on to the Q&A.